Hey, it's Isaac from Exposing Truth Ministry, and I'm here on Florella Gardens, and we've just had a wonderful breakfast. I'll be able to show you guys some pictures and videos about what that looks like here. But I hope you guys enjoy this experience. I hope you get to learn something different, something new, and I pray that watching this would inspire you guys to support this type of ministry, the Outpost work, whether it's coming here yourself and helping with some of the building projects they have, whether it's sending funds and supporting them monthly or yearly or however you feel like supporting, or even just praying for them, praying with them, because they're in a part of America where there's a great need for this type of work. The medical missionary work is non-existent here. And so they have a great opportunity to really make an impact here in this part of Alabama. And I just pray that yeah, that you guys will enjoy this experience, that you'll be touched, you'll be inspired, and that the Lord will also reach your heart. Are you gonna flip one?
Mom, is this one ready? Yeah. Let's try. Let's see. Nope. They're definitely not ready.
That wasn't ready yet.
No. This one. Let's do it.
So this structure is here on our farm to help us host guests. So we have 3 places for toilets here. And on this side, there'll be entrances from the opposite side. These are going to be 3 shower stalls. So right now we have the concrete foundation. We're taking off the forms. We had an original idea inspired by our outdoor shower where we had mint growing from underneath. And when the hot water of the shower hits the mint, the aroma just comes up and makes the shower so very enjoyable. So we wanted to do something similar here, so we have access to the soil where we can plant underneath and have a wooden grate over it. This will be surrounded, and we're not 100% sure yet. We're hoping to make a decision in the next couple hours exactly what the top will be.
So, where are we? We're in our home on Florella Gardens, which is down in southern Alabama in the United States. And what is Florella Gardens? Florella Gardens is the name that we've given to our home farm and ministry. And so we've tried to structure our life in a way that glorifies God based on his principles that we see in the Bible, for the way that he designed men to live, families to live.
For me, it is where people can come and learn agriculture, cooking, Bible, where family can comfortably come and children can experience the nature, the animals, and the gardens.
We named our place Florella Gardens because we wanted people to know that it's not about us. We could have named it the Anthony and Makiko Farm or the Chaya Farm, but it's more about the people around us. So we named it Florella after the people around us. And then gardens, it's because we have a lot of gardens here, but it's not just about the produce or farm. It's not like just an industry, although we do industrious things, but it's about the various ways to integrate and to share, live, and experience the farm work. And so that's Florella Gardens.
I added a cowboy. So, a cowboy went to town on Friday, and he stayed 3 days, and he went home on Friday.
Okay. Wait, a traveler went to town on Friday, stayed 3 days, and went home on Friday? I feel like there's something wrong with this one. Mathematically, it's not adding up.
No, it actually makes sense. It's not like you drink from the springs of the
Okay, so
mountain.
it's not like that one.
No.
Okay, how does he stayed 3 days where? Maybe he didn't stay in town 3 days? Ah, okay.
His horse was named Friday.
Oh my goodness. So he rode into town on Friday, stayed 3 days, and left on Friday. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Alright, so what's your name?
Joseph,
Joseph what?
Joseph Farmer.
So, Joseph, what's your job around here?
I'm the mechanic.
You're the mechanic.
Uh-huh.
What do you work on?
Everything.
Well, your mom said that you fix the weed eaters. You buy the weed eaters and you fix them up and sell the weed eaters. So tell me a little bit about that one.
So, we placed the whole thing with the bubble. Right there. A thing, then the bubble is right here. So we actually just replaced the whole thing. That goes to the carburetor.
What do you think about living out here? Do you like living on Florella Gardens?
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite things that you do here on the farm?
Animals and working on the farm.
What type of food do you grow on the farm?
Depending if I have a garden.
Well, if you have a garden, what do you like to grow?
Peaches and plums and apples and pears and watermelon.
Mmm. So let me try. Have you ever sold any of the fruit that you've grown on the farm?
Yes.
What fruits did you sell that you grew on the farm?
Sweet potatoes, watermelon.
Oh, that's a cool feeding device.
Sorry.
So what is your name?
My name is Sophia Chaya.
What are some of your duties or your responsibilities here on the farm?
So I help just with whatever, and I coordinate people's visits who don't come for the events, who want to come like on just their own time. I'll help them figure out where they're going and when they can come, see how our schedules match up. And I raise the cattle here on the farm.
Why four?
So a little bit about your cows and what got you into the cows.
Well, my dad would show me pictures of other little kids and adults plowing or pulling carts with oxen, and at first I didn't like the idea. I liked the idea of draft horses, but then I realized cows are lower maintenance and healthier in general. So I started doing a little research, and they're also less expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my first one over there, Peanut. Got him about 5 months ago. I wanted to change some more, so I got these little guys from the local dairy, and these guys, they're about let's see, 6 weeks.
Wow, they're huge.
Yeah. Peanut, he's a Holstein Brahma, and these guys are Holstein from the dairy. So, yeah, they were less expensive.
So, what are some industries that you're a part of, or some ways that you support yourself or help to support the whole farm in general?
2 years ago, we had our own gardens, all of us siblings. So I got to grow my own produce and then sell it on Marketplace and other places. And then I also, like I said, grow herbs and dry them and make products out of them, like soap and salves and lip balms. And I also raise the cattle. I'm hoping to raise those, train them for work, like plowing, pulling carts, and maybe eventually sell those. And that's about it. Yeah, I do have a website.
Okay.
Yes, I have a website for my natural products called DesertRoseSisters.com. And I sell some of my things on there. What I really like about the life here on Florella Gardens is we all have our work and our responsibilities, and that are really satisfying. But we also have our freedoms and our free times where we can express ourselves in different ways. So when I want to be creative, I'll go make soap, and I can choose whatever color, whatever scent. And after I'm done with making a batch of soap, I can sell it after I cut it up for $50 for that whole batch of soap. And then that helps me out with my next projects or the ingredients that it took to make it. So then I can go, let's say I want to have some just quiet time, and I want a little bit of a friendship or something. I'll go out in the cattle pasture and I'll go snuggle with the cattle and just like love on them. But then I want to work with cattle, so then I'll go out and train one to, follow me or let me do things to him. Yeah, just seeing the fruits of what we do is very satisfying. And when guests come, they see what we've done and we can share with them. Like if you've planted a garden in the spring, by fall, if you have guests come, you get to share with them the harvest. And that's a very rewarding feeling and accomplishment.
Maybe I'll just get some from the outside first. Wow, our chickens are like terrified of us. If you come around, what? How did you get up there? Wow, it's literally on your shoulder. So you had all these as chicks?
No. Our friend gave most of them to us. This one was a bottle baby. We got her at 12 days old. With better milk, that's why she liked it so much. And coconut, this was the first animal we ever got on our farm. Was this white goat.
Interesting.
She was a little under a year when we got her.
Look how fuzzy this one is. Aflac. Aflac. So the ducks are a little more conservative, or yeah. What about you? It's like his blue eyes. It's so cool. So, what's your name?
My name is Maria Chaya.
And what is your position here on the farm, or what is your duties here on Florella Gardens?
I am a child, and
I am living here and working on the gardens and animal care and hosting people from the community.
You say animal care. What do you mean specifically with animal care? Because I've seen a lot of animals around here.
So we raise animals for looks, not for eating, and we like to take care of them and have people come visit and they can interact with animals and nature.
What type of animals do you have around here?
We have goats, chickens, ducks, and cows, and alpacas.
Do you have your own industry or a way that you support yourself, or like to make extra money, or what are things that you do to kind of add to the work, or your work, if you would, on the farm?
Yeah, so gardening, of course, we all garden and sell produce that we grow. And for me, I have chickens, so I'll sell eggs or chicks or chickens or anything that comes from a chicken. Also, we can do like, if we have ducks, we can sell the ducklings. And I also make food like cookies and granolas and dried fruits. If we are going to some place, we can set up a table and we can sell our products there.
Is there any projects or anything about the future that excite you or that you're looking forward to?
I'm excited to growing our farm and making it more welcome for those who want to come visit and learn more about gardening and what the joys are of country living, and make it nice for them to come.
Look, Sophia.
There's this great.
Wait, both of you? What? That's funny.
This great chicken variety called, or breed.
Uh-huh.
These are the Polish.
Silkies.
These are the Silkies.
Yeah.
These are called Silkies, and Silkies are much more personable. They're smaller. Of course, they're cute and fuzzy.
I mean,
as
look
you
at
can
that
tell.
guy's face.
Yes. They're like the poodles of chickens in terms of looks, but in terms of personality, they're more like golden retriever or whatever. I mean, they're very curious about what you're doing. They're not as afraid, and they're just really great.
We were working in there earlier this morning, and she would just come and sit at my feet.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I were gonna start with chickens or finish with chickens,
Mm-hmm.
I'd go with
Silky.
Or middle.
or middle.
What led to this? Because, I mean, there has to be a purpose. Like, there's a lot of work that was put into this.
That's right. The backstory is that we used to live in a skyscraper, literally in a skyscraper in various places. We lived in a Chinatown in downtown. I used to walk to the busiest intersection in a downtown place and work in the office of of a different skyscraper. So going from one to living, one to working, and back home. It was during those years that the Lord started teaching me about a different way of life, a different way to raise children, a different way to spend our energies, a different way to exercise, a different way to think, because it wasn't even about just us, what we were going to do with our time and how we were going to have fun and how we were going to exercise and take care of ourselves. But it was more about like how to live in such a way that blesses others. And so we left the skyscraper and we moved to the country. And then that was in a small home on a rented small lot, but it was not a skyscraper. And then it went from there to step by step, the Lord led us to a point where we were willing to put our all of our energy, all of our time into his work and trying to create a place where it would meet all the needs of our children for education and for interest and for enjoyment and for safety and for productivity. And then also to, in meeting all those needs, be preparing a place where people could come and heal. So in our mind, when we bought this property, we bought 20 acres specifically, thinking that we wanted to develop it to where people could come, be outdoors, be in the gardens, be in a beautiful place, stress-free, healthful, learning how to cook, learning how to live, learning how to see God in the right light through the created things that he has around loving people. So creating this outpost, this place where people could come out of a busy life, a stressful life, an artificial life to a very natural life. And so we knew that took commitment, work, investment to do. And so we began with what we had, and that is why we've come to this place, for that vision, to get to a place where people could experience something that will connect them to God.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of our young fruit trees that we've just put in the ground. And this is the size of the peach trees that we put in the ground just about a year and a half ago over here. And I'm going to show you the size of them now.
Right.
But they were this size, about 3.5 to 4 feet tall. The caliper of the trunk was smaller than my pinky.
Right.
Right, just like this, just a whip. And in a year and a half, I'm going to go show you what they look like right now. Okay, so right here we have our 2 rows of trees. These are plums on the left and peaches on the right. We'll just look at this first peach tree here. This peach tree was just like that little whip, and you can see my wingspan is just a little over 6 feet. And so I'm touching the tip over here, and I'm probably a good foot and a half
from the middle.
Trunk.
Right.
So that means we're 7.5 feet on this side and 7.5 feet on that side. So this is a 15-foot wide tree now.
In 1 year.
In 1.5 years, yeah. So
what?
You know that I have an 8-foot reach, and I'm 6 feet from the tip. So we're talking about a 14-foot tall tree, 15 feet wide after 1.5 years.
That's supposed to be impossible. It's supposed to take like 3 to 4 years to get fruit off a tree.
That's right. And this is the trunk, which is in some places like this is the thickest front to back here. It's a little thinner side to side, but it's probably 4.5 to 5 inches at its thickest point. And this was what was thinner than my pinky last year when we put it in.
Oh my goodness.
The growth that we've seen on this tree, and not just this one, but the others as well,
right,
is outstanding. We're just very, very thankful. I've been traveling, so I haven't, cultivated as I normally do, but you notice that there's not a ton of weeds growing up. No. The soil here doesn't even look very fertile, but it's still soft. You see how I could just dig in with my hand?
Right.
That's because we keep it soft. Even though it doesn't look fertile, when it rains, it soaks in. Even though it doesn't look like much, we actually do keep it relatively soft.
This is incredible. And so this is, like you said, a result of the true planting of the Ellen White method.
Yes, we purchased nothing to do this tree except for the tree itself, and then the tools that we use to prune them and to cultivate around them. We've purchased no fertilizers. I don't even have an irrigation system.
Right, I noticed.
This tree has not been watered. It hasn't been fertilized. I probably will do some natural fertilization this year, like putting on leaves from the forest, things like this, but nothing that I'm going to...
Chemicals or...
No chemicals, nothing I'm paying for, no lab tests and responding to that by purchasing a bunch of things.
Right.
It's just what we have available to us on our farm.
What would you say if you were counseling someone else that was like, hey, I feel like the Lord is calling me to do something like this. I want to start a farm. I want to start an outpost. Like, what would you give them counsel, or how would you encourage someone?
Go look for all the wisdom that God has given us in the Bible and the spirit of prophecy. Look at Jesus' life. Look at how he lived like on the Mount of Olives and then would come into the city. And then do it, I believe, for the right reasons. Like check your heart, pray to the Lord, ask him why. And then study his methods, his requirements. Because if you know they're his, then you can deny your own sight. You can persevere when it doesn't look like it's going to be successful. When your resources are starting to dwindle, you can be sure that you're on his mission. And if it's his mission, then it cannot fail. It cannot. He knows no failure. And so my first advice to them is like really make sure that you are seeking the Lord, seeking his ways, his purposes. And if you make his will your will, place your will on the side of his will, make a choice to open yourself to be used by him to do what he wants, then you really absolutely cannot fail. Success may look different. In fact, we're told, Sister White says in one place, she says, the one thing that we're going to learn when we get to heaven is that success is accounted differently in heaven as in earth. And so, like, what does that look like? Well, we're going to learn. So, but God knows no failure. So make sure that success is measured by what he says and by being faithful to what he says to do.
Yeah, what a family.
Built the house with.
That hammer.
This hammer right here built the house with this hammer.
Man, there's blood, sweat, and tears on it.
It's a good one, yeah. Definitely hurt myself with this hammer. But we also now live in the house that it built.
Amen. That's amazing. A simple tool like that.
Yes.
Get the whole structure off the ground. How do you know for a fact it's not just a whim? It's not just like a one in a, I just have this idea. How do you know it's God that is directing?
One of the wonderful things is that my children are growing in knowledge of God through this experience. My oldest daughter, who's 16, was asked recently, why do you love being an Adventist? And she said, I love being an Adventist because as an Adventist, we have an answer for every question in life. And I think that as a 16-year-old, she sees that because our life, the way that we eat, the choices we make for the land, the choices that we make for how we're going to reach our community is all based on the answers that have been given to us from God. And as we've committed to put those principles to work, we see miracles.
So we pray and we read together. We always have reading time as a family, and then we try to learn what God wants us to do. And as much as we read, we try to follow. And I experienced that there are a lot of things that God wanted us to learn, and every learning experience, I realized that it's such a benefit for me. it gives me another happiness, another overcoming experience, and just those little by little life, just the day by day things that I really enjoy being here and being in the path that the God gives me.
So, what are ways you've seen being here affecting your spiritual life as opposed to like when you were younger or so forth?
Yeah, it's very positive, I would say. Our family, I feel like, is overall less worried and stressed and whatever, especially right here because we are more stable now. So that helps. And then, yeah, the animals and everything around you, the object lessons and just the work. Yeah, you have time to think and time to commune with God. So just, being here on the farm is to me a blessing, and we could share with others the blessings, and I think they could really see it if they would be here. But if they can't come here, we can share with what we can and bring to them as much as our life to them as we can, and just share with them God. And if they can get closer to Him, they can probably see the beauty of what we're doing.
Is there anything in the future? Like, what do you want to see happen on the farm in the future? What are some of your goals or your plans?
I'm deciding to build just cabins for health purposes.
Deciding to build cabins for health purposes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's really big plans. Do you want to do the health work? You want to help people to get better?
Yeah.
How will you help them?
Remedies that Sophia makes.
Do remedies that Sophia makes.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
God has given us a big heart for people. And we know that we would love to receive you into our home, share the overflow of what God has given to us. So please consider coming. You could bring your family and learn something about homeschooling. You could bring yourself and learn something about country living. You could learn about agriculture or animal husbandry. Or you can literally just get away from the stress, hustle and bustle and the news and your phone and just enjoy the birds, the flowers, the grass, the blue sky, and a carefree life for a time. You could also come, and if you have an ailment that you're suffering with, that you've received advice that you're not sure is the way you want to be treated for your recovery, you could come and we could show you and share with you God's methods of healing and connect you with the great physician. So these are things that we would love to do with you. So think about coming to Florella Gardens.
Awesome. How do people, if you're going to tell people, this is how you come, this is how you can find out, this is how you can be a part,
So right now we have a website. It's called floralagardens.org. And on that website, it shows a few pictures. It talks about who's here, working here, and some of our vision. It also has ways that you can contribute to some of the projects we're working on, as well as maybe come to an event.
When you get those kinds of things, Sophia, you'll want to get like a little bit more up close, like different angles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is my family.